My 34F brothers 28M told me to quit my job. I have posted this previously but have deleted it to edit some details and make a new throwaway account just in case. I'm a Reddit lurker and has recently come across the term parentified, and what happened recently made me wonder, can the term parentified be applied to me? For context, I, 34F, am the oldest of my siblings. I have two younger twin brothers, A and R 28M. When I was 6, after my parents had my younger twin brothers, my mom started teaching me how to change diapers, prepare milk, how to carry my brothers and how to do house chores. I would take over majority of it as I get older. Growing up, my parents would constantly tell me that I'm the oldest, so I have the responsibilities of taking care of my brothers. When I turned 10, my parents decided to focus on their business, so I had to be my brother's caretaker. From making sure they finished their homeworks to cooking, cleaning, washing and ironing, etc. My brothers help with the chores when they are older. And when I turned 16, after getting my driving license, my parent bought me a car and everything was thrown to me. I would drive my brothers to school, dentist, doctor's appointment, basically any events. I would attend any of my brother's school events, whether it is major ones or minor ones, because I know how lonely it feels without anyone there. I would chaperone their outing with their friends, so I knew their friend's parent. My parents wouldn't attend any school event, except for parents-teacher meeting, citing it all as time wasting. Anything that involved us would be time wasting in their eyes. Birthday was also considered time wasting, so my brothers and I have a tradition of baking cakes and celebrating our birthday together. Graduation was also time wasting. Funny enough, my parents' friend's birthday wasn't considered time wasting. My parent would prioritize friendships over their children every time. There is no such things as family vacations. My parents would rather go on a vacation with their friends. The only thing my parent will provide is financial support, and that is all. For my parents, as long as we don't bother them with our issues, they are more than happy to provide things financially. When I graduated from high school, I had the opportunity to leave for college, but I choose to stay and attend the local college because my brothers are still young and I don't want to abandon them like our parent did. When my brothers graduated, the three of us decided to move out together. My parent were more than happy to pay for the apartment. I only started dating in my 20s and had a few failed relationships because they could not accept my brother's position in my life. The only one that accepts and gets along with my brothers is my fiancé, D36M. D and I have been together for almost 6 years now, and he's wonderful. D understands my brother's position in my life and actually makes the effort to hang out with my brothers, which led to their monthly boys-only night. D's family are amazing. They accepted my brothers and I with open hearts and arms. We are included in every family event. D's family have 3 sons, no daughter, and D's dad would invite my brothers to his family boys' camping trip. And I would get spoilt by D's mom on Out Ladies' Day Out. It was amazing experiencing such warmth. So on to the main point. A week ago, my brothers sat me down and told me that now that they are financially stable, A is a IT developer and R is a physiotherapist, and have their own apartment, we live 5 to 10 minutes away from each other. They wanted to give me a % of their salary so that I can quit my job and do whatever I want. They want me to experience things that I had missed out in the past, travel or indulge in my hobby. I was surprised by it, and when asked why, my brother said their friends was talking about giving their parents money for them to ease their finances and also for their parent to slow down and enjoy their life. When my brothers heard this, the first person that came to their mind is me, because I raised them. I didn't answer because I was baffled by it, so they told me to think about it. When I talked to my fiancé about this conversation and how surprised I was by it, he grinned and told me that he actually knew about it because my brothers had a discussion with him on it. I guess I had a confused look on my face, because he just poked my forehead and said, "You are practically their mom and dad," and reminds me of the things I did for my brothers growing up. When D and I were dating, I was pretty vague on how it was like growing up, just enough for him to know that I took care of my brothers. Turns out, my brothers took it upon themselves to tell him all the details during one of their boys' night out when D and I were dating for 1 year. According to D, my brothers asked him about his intention for our future, and when D said he was serious, they then told him about our childhood, how I raised them and that they thought of me as their parent, which make him decided then that I'm the one for him, lol. Apparently he told his family about it too, which makes his family love me and told him if he doesn't marry me, they would disown him and adopt my brothers and I, LMFAO. which also reminded me that my brothers would make the effort to buy me flowers and make me meals on Mother and Father's Day. I would get expensive gifts, like jewelry, bags etc., while my parents would get gifts card. So all these came to the question, was I parentified? Would it have any affect on me if I were to have kids in the future? Do I need therapy? And how should I go about with my brother's request? For more context. 1. When my brothers started working, the three of us move out of the apartment our parents paid for and move into the ones we paid. After a few years, we move out into our own apartment. We still live near each other, about 5 to 10 minutes distance, too. Our relationship with our parents are civil. They would call or text when they remember they have children, and we would have dinner once in a while. Conversation often turn into awkward silence as compared to my brothers and I, which are endless. 3. My parents are not close to their own family. We would only see them once a year, so my brothers and I don't have anyone to turn to when we were young. 4. I'm thinking of asking my brothers to walk me down the aisle for my wedding. Will it be weird? I don't know how my parents are going to react to this. Wedding will be paid by fiancé and I. If you can't figure out on your own how to feel about all this, then yes, you do need therapy. Personally, I'd be uncomfortable making myself dependent on someone else's income, no matter how well-intentioned the offer. I'd also want to look out for A&R's own future partners, who may not agree with D that you should all still be enmeshed in each other's lives to the degree that you are. But when you're literally being told your brothers think of you as their parent more than their actual parent, I'm not sure why you're still questioning whether that qualifies as parentification. This actually made me cry a little. What great brothers and husband you have. I cannot say you need therapy, but you can feel very lucky to have 3 wonderful men in your life, and you should embrace that in them red heart. You were their mum and you did an amazing job. You shouldn't have had to do it, but you should be very proud of the job you did. They are 2 kind and generous men. I'm a guy and this made me tear up. Lucky dude. Lady, you have such a big heart. You don't need therapy, and what you learned by taking care of your brothers will carry you way beyond your own children. You brothers love you because of everything they have done for you and have given you the gift of choice to not work if you don't want to. Never look at what you did as a burden, as you have make a huge difference in your brothers' lives and they are truly grateful for everything that you have done for them. Good on you and congratulations for keeping your family so close through all these hardships. I, 23 NB, told my boyfriend, 25 male, that I don't want kids and he shot a tree in response. It's basically what the title says. We were at my parents' when I told him. We were out in the yard and everyone else was inside. And I told him that I don't want kids right now, and I might not ever. I also said that I wanted to tell him now, rather than wait in case something happens. Because things can happen sometimes, no matter how careful you are. Initially, he took it really well. He didn't ask me for any reason for why I said it. In fact, he kind of laughed and said it was fine, and that we could get a couple more dogs whenever we were ready for them. I was so relieved. I told myself that I had been worrying about nothing. He left shortly after and I didn't think anything was wrong until he didn't text me when he got home, which is unusual. And so I texted him saying, "Hope you made it home safe." To which he responded, "Yeah." Weird vibe compared to our normal conversations, but I didn't let myself get anxious about it. We had established months ago that if one of us is upset about something, we tell the other person before it drags in and can make us both miserable. I chalked it up to him being tired from work that day and went about doing some stuff at home. He didn't text me again for a few hours, until at some point I got worried about the radio silence that was going on and called him, wondering if his reaction to what I said had been a lie. And boy was I right. He answered the phone in a very short tone. When I asked him if he was doing okay, I also added that I wasn't trying to be clingy or bother him too much. I was just worried. He said, "No, I'm not. I don't know how to process this." He then went on to say he can't believe I wouldn't want kids, and demanded to know why. I told him, 1. I have chronic hip pain and problems, and carrying even a backpack for work can make them hurt to where I need to sit for a few hours, and I could never make it through a term without ending up in a wheelchair, and that my doctor said if I did give birth, my hips could be messed up even worse and never get even marginally better. 2. I have raised my brother, who is almost 10 years younger than me, ever since I was 10, and I do not want to go through everything with that again. 3. I would have to take too much time off from work, and in the time that I was gone, I would be let go and replaced. 4. I have heard far too many horror stories from people who have been pregnant, and those alone would be enough to turn me away from the idea. But I'm not one to tell people not to have kids or judge them on it. We established that we needed to keep this between us while we figured out what to do next. He hung up the phone and said he didn't know where we should go from there. Then it was radio silence again on his end until the next afternoon, when he called me to inform me that he had in fact told his mom, both sets of his grandparents, and all the guys he plays video games that I didn't want kids, and that their general consensus was that I was being horrifically selfish for keeping this from him. He hadn't told them any of the reasons that I gave for not wanting kids, only that I didn't seem open to even talking about it. I asked him if he had a chance to process everything in a way that worked for him, and he said, "Well, I didn't want to direct my anger towards you, so I went out behind the house with the AK and shot over 200 rounds into a tree, and then the clips in my pistol, too." This isn't the first time he has used firearms to vent his anger about something. He actually does it all the time, and it would be fine if it seemed to be in a controlled way, but sometimes he'll just get worked up over the smallest things and threaten to pull his conceal and carry pistol on people in parking lots. But it still worries me, and I don't feel comfortable sleeping in the same house as him when he immediately jumps to using a gun to fix his problems. We haven't talked about it. He says we can worry about it when I'm pregnant, and now he's out of state on vacation. I'm trying to come up with a way to fix this before he gets home. TLDR is that I said I don't want kids and my boyfriend shot a tree about it and won't talk to me about it, and I don't know what to do. You are now incompatible. Kids are a deal breaker. He wants kids. You don't. Stop wasting each other's time or you are selfish. Edit: I didn't mean to gloss over the crazy factor of shooting because of anger. Definitely not a stable-minded person. Also, the tree didn't deserve it either. Hopefully that tree lives a long life. He's crazy and you need to get the hell away from this guy. I have guns and it has never even occurred to me to shoot them in anger, and your boyfriend is threatening to pull his pistol over parking disputes? Run. Do it as quickly and safely as you can. Like you'd really want kids with someone whose way express frustration is to empty 200 rounds into a tree? In addition, he shared personal information with the entire world before he discussed it with you. Not good. Move on. Firearms are not a blow-off steam toy. They are deadly tools used to kill. You don't talk about having a gun on you. You don't threaten anyone over anything. You either use the gun or leave it the fuck alone. It has one purpose: to end another life. He does not respect this. He does not respect life. He does not respect you. Get away as fast as you can. For your safety and the safety of those you love. Thank God you're not bringing more little AK-tutting psychopaths into this world. My 29F boyfriend, 30M, just told me that I'm a 7 out of 10. BF and I were having a conversation about rating his guy friend when all of a sudden he blurted out that I'm a 7. I didn't ask him to rate me, and I didn't ask because I didn't want to get hurt by his answer, but he voluntarily gave it to me and I didn't like it. I feel like I'm not pretty enough. I feel like every time I'll look in the mirror I'm just a 7 to his eyes. It's so unfair that he had to tell me this. But am I just overreacting? But I feel so sad and hurt over this. I feel like I'm not enough. Please tell me if I'm just overreacting? Update. I didn't think a ton of people would respond to this post, but thanks to all the people who responded regardless if it was negative or positive. I know that what I'm feeling sad about is childish or petty, that's why I'm asking if I'm overreacting. And maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. It's subjective, I know. I'll get over myself. Thank you for answering my question. As for the people who are calling me, and telling me that I deserve it for rating other people as well, or my boyfriend bad people for rating other people, I know it may sound bad. But have you not had a conversation with someone you're really close with and you know if other people are around they're gonna judge? This is one of those convos. My boyfriend and I can talk about anything because we are each other's safe space. Doesn't mean we mean what we say or we are bad people. We're not perfect, yeah, but we're not bad people. We, even as an individual, think as well that this rating bullshit is nonsense. We were just chatting. It wasn't deep. It was just the two of us blurting random stuff. This is the convo we had. We were talking about his friend always traveling to Asia and is now dating someone from Asia. It always gives me the ick when Western guys only go after Asian women, and these men, based on my limited experience, are usually not conventionally good looking. I know, very judgy of me, but it's not that serious and deep for me. So I asked him what his friend looks like. He didn't have a photo of him. So I asked him to rate him so I can kind of visualize him if he's the stereotype that I thought in my head. I forget how we got from there to him blurting his rating to me was. For the people who was wondering why I'm judgy about the Westerner guys only dating Asian women is the fetishizing of US Asian women. And yes, I'm Asian. I read a comment that Asian women are chill and doesn't worry about stuff like rating. Well, you haven't dated or know a lot of Asians because you are so wrong. This is a whole different topic, so I no longer want to expand on this, but if you want to talk more about it, I guess message me or something. I'm up for an open discussion. People don't always say the right thing, and I guess this is one of those moments for my BF. If you're judging our relationship because of my previous post about our relationship, go ahead. It's fine. You're human. But the things I post online is not the whole picture of our relationship. I love our relationship most of the time. There are just times that either of us F's up. And that's fine. And for the people who are calling me insecure, maybe I am. But my whole worth is not measured by my BF's rating. It just made me sad that my boyfriend sees me as just a 7, and I know it's a high rating as some of you would say. When in my mind I should be 10 plus for him because I'm his girlfriend, but I know that it's unhealthy for me to police his mind and he is his own person. Anyway, thank you everyone who participated in this post. Please be nice or be nicer. Anatomical heart. This is really childish behavior for two people this age. For starters, and being 29 and 30-year-olds, why are you two rating people? Tell him he's a 5. Dude, I am husband of the fucking year. What is wrong with dudes? Your feelings are always valid, so you should absolutely talk to him. That being said, both of you look bad here. You need to take some responsibility for having this conversation in the first place. Why did you think it was okay to rate a male friend but not yourself? How do you think he felt about that? If you can't handle the heat, stop going near the kitchen. My partner 50M thinks I 31F am cheating. I have been in a relationship for almost a year. We have lived together for 7 months. My boyfriend is convinced I am cheating when I stay late at work. If I am in the office past 5:30, I almost always get a call from him sounding depressed, asking what I am doing or saying that he won't be home when I get home. There's then usually a lot of tension or a fight when I get home. He is older than me, too old to be this immature. He had a horrible relationship before me with the mother of his child. He has full custody and his son lives with us. I love them both. We have been making long-term plans with each other. I spend so much time and energy on this relationship, but he still doesn't trust me. He claims he got some random message about 6 months ago that I was sleeping with a guy from a different company in my office building. This, anonymous, messages claim to be the guy's girlfriend and named the other company, and I have worked with people from that company on multiple projects, but I have never even met them in person, let alone spent time with any of them outside of work. I have no idea who would have sent this, as they would have to have intimate knowledge of my work to even know about this other company. We discussed the message ad nauseum once he told me about it 4 months ago, and I felt like we had moved past it. I stayed late at work yesterday. We had plans on that side of town, and he texted me saying he would Uber to my office so we could drive together. I didn't see the text until he called me to cancel our plans because he was swamped with work. So I stayed later at work to avoid traffic and catch up on things. He wasn't home when I got home, and by the time he did come back it was 8 p.m. and he was clearly upset. We spent the night with his son, who even asked his dad, "Why are you mad?" To which he claimed he wasn't. My boyfriend, his son, and I went on a 3-week vacation together a couple weeks ago. It was the best trip of my life, but unpacking has been a nightmare. I found one of the chargers to a sex toy we had used on the trip downstairs yesterday. I threw it in my purse along with some other random things like a blow dryer attachment and Amazon purchases and brought it upstairs. He asked to go into my bag this morning for my car keys to get something from my car and found the charger and asked why I would have that at work. Well, I left the sex toy behind in an Airbnb on the trip, so I can't prove that it's not at work. I had mentioned this to him during the vacation, but he doesn't remember. So I have spent my morning hearing about how I don't have the balls to tell the truth to him. He is despondent and seems disgusted with me. I don't know how to defend myself against something that is just completely untrue. I have never done anything wrong in this relationship. If this were a friend asking me for advice, I would tell her that he's probably cheating if he is so accusatory. I have absolutely no reason to think that, though. I believe he is just traumatized from his past relationship, and I am now the focus of that unresolved trauma. I have done nothing wrong, and I don't know how to prove it. So I presume he showed you these so-called messages so you can work out who sent them. Let me guess, he deleted them. I bet if you ever got to talk to mother of his kid, he did this same paranoid crap with her. Why are you thinking, how can I prove I didn't cheat? Instead of, Why am I dating this man who thinks so little of me and treats me like a criminal? He is telling you that he thinks you're shitty. Your goal should not be to keep dating someone who tells you you're shitty. He was almost 20 years old when you were born. And he acts like a toddler? Hopefully you will leave him and learn your lesson. Don't date someone 20 years older than you and move in after a few months. Date someone closer to your age and go slow so you can catch these red flags before you're in too deep. When your partner is making unfounded accusations of infidelity, it's pretty much always either because they're cheating, or they're trying to manipulate you with accusations they know are false. Either way, this relationship is doomed, and you should start preparing to leave.